Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. And I'm your friend Rajiv Nath back with you. The topic for today is, there's a demand for this topic. I have already put a small video 2 days back, uh, quoting an example of on ruling planets. This is just a general discussion that I'm going to do on ruling planets. How, where, and when, why ruling planets should be used, and how you should be using ruling planets. What is the importance in ruling planets, as I have already spoken in my last video, along with birth time rectification and a few one or two more aspects. Ruling planet is one of the backbones of KP astrology, and it will be a very short video. I'm not taking any example. I've just opened this chart for you just to explain a few things where ruling planets are, where ruling planets are to be seen, how they are to be used. This was a chart. This was a holy chart which I have made a prediction on. I'll discuss this chart someday later, some other time. But this one just a general talk on ruling planets, as there's a lot of demand, a lot of comments and feedback that I'm getting is, sir, there should be a general talk, a general lecture on ruling planets. So here we go. So first of all, what are ruling planets? What constitute ruling planets? See, when you are judging a question, ruling planets are mainly used in horary astrology. That is number one. BTR, very important. Birth time rectification. Suppose you have your own chart and you're not sure about the time. But this is a caution that I am, this is a caution, or you take it as a precaution. Don't use ruling planets recklessly for birth time rectification. And birth time rectification of natal horoscopes through ruling planets, number one, is not 100% foolproof. Please note that, okay? No matter what any astrologer might tell you. And I'm not saying that you cannot rectify the birth time of a chart through ruling planets. You can very well do it. But for one horoscope, you can use it only once. Not that, take up a horoscope and you do it, you're not satisfied, then you try it again. It will not work out. And then the most important part with ruling planets, as is with horary astrology, there should be seriousness, you know, and do it, And another rule is that as soon as a horoscope is presented in front of you, and if you have some doubt regarding the ruling planet, do it instantly, straight away. Don't wait, okay, I take the horoscope, I'll keep it. Okay, I do agree, that in KP, the rule is that, it is as per the astrologer's mood and the urge that he feels when to judge or analyze a horoscope, but not in case of ruling planets. As soon as a horoscope comes to you, and if you're okay, if you're not interested in analyzing horoscope straight away, keep it. But whenever the urge arises, that okay, now I'm going to analyze this horoscope, do the BTR through ruling planets straight away. If you don't get it, then there are other ways of doing BTR. Okay, if you're not satisfied, BTR is a full-fledged, it is a separate chapter which we will take up at some later date. But then ruling planets for birth time rectification has to be done very judiciously when the urge is there, when the seriousness from the querent side is there, from your side it is there, and then there are various rules. You know how much is the difference that the querent feels is in his time of birth. Is it by 15 minutes? Is it by 10 minutes? Is it by 1 hour, 2 hours? Is it by a day? He is not sure of the day. Is it by 1 year? Okay, whatever. There are different rules that we'll be speaking about. So this is when one place where ruling planets is, one aspect in KP where ruling planets is used. It is still, again, as a caution, it is not 100%. It is not 100% foolproof for correcting the birth time of horoscopes. Number two, when are ruling planets used again? Ruling planets mainly, as 2 days back, I have posted a video in which I have, spoken about some day-to-day event. My maid was not coming, and when my wife was worried when she would come, that I have discussed how the ruling planet was used. What are the rules? Now let us see. Now in horary charts, mainly ruling planets are used, and how ruling planets are to be used, I'm going to speak. First of all, what are ruling planets? Now, this horoscope, say this horoscope I have drawn up here. Now, one thing in Mark, at least in this software that I am using, this horary chart I had drawn up on 4/7/2019. Okay, I have noted down the ruling planets. I think it is there. I'll just open them. Yes, I have noted down the ruling planets in this notepad for the time of judgment. Okay, I'll close this. These are the ruling planets: Mercury, Sun, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter. These were the ruling planets when I judged this, made prediction of this horoscope. In this software, whenever you open a old chart, you will get the ruling planets here, but these ruling planets here are not for the time of judgment of this chart. These ruling planets appear for the time right now. The time is, what is the time right now? It is 10:56 p.m. So this is ruling planets as on today, that is on 28th, as on 28th, as at 23/8, that is 11/08, 23/4/2020 at Ranchi, where I am sitting. Ignore this. We have to take the ruling planets when we are judging. Now, how are ruling planets useful? See what mistakes what mistakes astrologers make, and especially when you are a beginner in KP astrology, and when you are very over enthusiastic. What happens is, suppose we are judging that the question is, will I get a job? Like this one was, when good placement will come. That is, when will I get a good job? You know what the significators for a good job are there? Significators of second house, sixth house, 10th house. And a very good job or a promotion or something, 11th house. 11th house is the most important house in any horoscope, natal or horary. So the rule is that, when the significators of 2, 6, 10, when there's Dasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha combination comes into play, that person gets a job. Besides other rules that the sixth house sublord should be connected to the 10th house, and the 10th house sublord should be connected to the 10th, to the sixth house, and they should be interconnected with the second house. There are various rules. After all those rules, we come to the we have to judge the period, when the person is likely to get a job. So we see the significators of second. Here you'll open the significator. See, you can the table of significators. You pick out the significators for second, Jupiter, then sixth, Moon, Mars, Mercury, 10th, Saturn, Ketu, Venus, Saturn, Ketu. These are the significators. Of course, we have to see the sublords also. But in short, suppose you arrive at the significators, okay, that in Saturn, Ketu, and say Jupiter, Saturn, Ketu, Jupiter, this person is going to get a job. So you give a prediction that, on such and such date, you will get an appointment letter or you will join the job. Your prediction proves wrong. Now, why does the prediction prove wrong? Because as an over enthusiastic astrologer, we have not had a look at the ruling planets. We didn't see Saturn, Ketu, Jupiter, whatever the significators we took into consideration, whichever the Dasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha was ruling at that time when I made my prediction that you'll get a job here. Like let's say, suppose, let's open this. Let's shift my photograph slightly here. say suppose, okay, suppose this is the date we had picked out. Saturn Ketu Mars. Okay, Saturn Ketu Mars, 30th January 2020. This lasts up to 30th January 2020, starting from 7/1/2020. This is the period we told the querent that he'll get a job. Prediction proved wrong. Why it proved wrong? Because these were the significators, but were they also the ruling planets? Did we match them with the ruling planets that we had here? Did we see whether, did we check out whether Ketu was a ruling planet? See, Ketu we are not finding here. This is just by way of example that I am telling you. Had we checked out Ketu, whether it is a ruling planet, and then had we coincided, we would have then said, no, in this period, Saturn, Ketu, you will not get a job. We will have to wait for, next whatever, okay, Ketu here appears. Just by way of example, suppose it had not appeared. Let's see. Now, suppose this is Mercury, Sun, Moon, Saturn, Ketu, Rahu. They are all ruling planets. Which is not a ruling planet? Okay, Mars is not a ruling planet. Suppose you told them Saturn, Ketu, and Mars, you will get a job. Your prediction proved wrong. Why did it prove wrong? Because Mars, you did not check out whether Mars was a ruling planet or not, and you gave the prediction. So the prediction proved wrong. So that is the importance of ruling planets. That is number one. Number two is at times, at times what happens is you get confused. Say suppose for the say suppose for the you take any of the say suppose sixth house. Okay, Moon is there, Mars is there, Mercury is there, Saturn is there. There are so many significators for the sixth house. All of them can give a job. Okay. So now KSK, as KSK used to say, ruling planets we also utilize to eliminate the tempters, he used to say. He used the language tempters. So these significators, out of these significators, if like Mars we discussed just now, Mars is not a ruling planet. So this is a tempter. Okay. So we will reject this. We will reject this Mars, and we will decide that job will not come about in the Pratyanta Dasha of Mars. Okay, if Ketu is not a ruling planet and it appears as a significant, it is a tempter. It is tempting you to make a prediction. So be very, very careful. Don't get tempted. Okay. And as an enthusiastic and especially as a new astrologer, you want every prediction of yours to come naturally. I mean, that is what astrology is all about. I wish all the astrologers that all the predictions would come right. But as I discuss in every video of mine, all predictions will never come correct. Otherwise, we don't need God. Okay, and without God, nothing happens. So now, anyway, coming back, importance of ruling planet to rule out the tempters. Be sure that your significators, the significators for which the period for which you are making the prediction tallies with the ruling planets. That is very important. Number one. Number two, don't jump in, give a prediction without ascertaining the sublords of these significators. Okay. You analyze everything. Saturn may be signifying sixth, it may be signifying 10th, but the sublord is signifying ninth. So ninth is what? Ninth, ninth is denial to the 10th. So ultimately, Saturn might, it might take you near to a job, and last minute you see that, it does not fructify. So these things you have to keep in mind. Before, at times, let me also warn you, at times, even without ruling planets, having a look at the ruling planets, you make a prediction and it will pass. This happens. This has happened with me also. Later on, however, I checked up, ruling planets were there. But had I had the ruling planet not been there and I had made a prediction, it would have gone wrong. So that is the importance of ruling planets. Then again, like the prediction that I had made the other day regarding I made the video on which I had made, there were many queries, why did you why did you why did you not consider the next sign lord, which was not a ruling planet. Some astrologers say that sign lord can be ignored, just concentrate on the nakshatra lord and the sublord. No, that is not true. When you are making a prediction, especially for a day-to-day event, when you are moving the ascendant or you are moving the moon, you have to be absolutely sure that the event will only fructify when the ascendant or the moon or whatever you are moving is connected with all the ruling planets that appear as that moment when you are making the judgment. Be sure in that some planet, some planet appearing twice as ruling planets, it is not necessary they become very strong. Yes, they do become strong, but it is not that, if one planet is appearing only once as a ruling planet and it is appearing as the sign lord and the sublord or the star lord, if it is appearing twice in the combination, it cannot be taken. It can be taken. The idea is that your prediction will not fructify till it tallies with the ruling planets. Number three, I have discussed in my last video. If the event is to happen on the same day, you will move the position of the lagna. Okay, you will move the position of the lagna. In 24 hours, all the lagnas move in the zodiac. This is the lagna. This is the lagna. Okay, this is the lagna that time. If you open the instant Prashna chart just now, okay, this is the instant Prashna chart. Lagna for the moment is Sagittarius. One lung stays for about approximately 2 minutes. Now, suppose we are predicting something that we know is going to happen today. We have to move the position of the lagna, okay, to tally with the ruling planets appearing. Then that event will take place. If the ruling planets don't happen to come within the time span that you think that the event is going to take place, then the event will not take place. If you want to, you can also have a look at the 11th house, the sublord of the 11th house. Sublord of the 11th house, is it connected with the significators or the houses of what you wish should happen? That also you can see. But you need not see that in day-to-day events or even in events which are likely to happen in 3-4 days time. You have to move the moon, position of the moon. Where is the moon? The moon is here. Okay. Moon is here. It is in Aries. It is the Aries. So the sign lord is Mars, and the moon is the position. The moon is in Venus constellation. It'll, it'll move. It'll move tomorrow or day after tomorrow. In one sign it stays for 2.5 days. Tomorrow it'll stay here. If when it comes to Taurus, it'll stay for 2.5 days. Whatever event you are expecting, Taurus, see, then the ruling planets will be sign lord. Should be, if it is to if it is to happen within these 2.5 days. Taurus, the Venus, then the first sign lord here will be Sun. Sorry, first nakshatra lord will be Sun, then the Moon, then the Mars. Okay, so these become the ruling planets when the Moon is here. Moon is here, and if these three, including the sign lord Venus, if these four appear as the ruling planets, and the Moon happens to be there on the sensitive point, that event will take place at that time. This is mostly what happens. I am not saying you will never go wrong. Okay, and don't get discouraged if your prediction is wrong. At times There are many reasons where your prediction could go wrong. Don't test it out. This ruling planets has to be used. It is a divine help. As I told you in the last video, it is a divine help, a help directly from God, something invented or discovered by Krishnamurti ji. It is divine help. So don't use it as a test, and let not the querent ask you to use it as a test. Don't do that. Only when the urge is there for judging something, you are supposed to use it. Okay? Both you as well as the querent. Use it judiciously, your predictions will come correct. This is a this was a general talk on ruling planets. Case wise, we'll take it up. This particular case, when I had made the prediction, not this, the last chart that I had opened, it was a Horary chart. I had used the ruling planets also. I'll show you how it worked out. Okay, thanks. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me your feedback and press the notification bell also so that you receive the notification as soon as I release my videos. And okay, thanks. Bye. Good night. Namaste. Thank you very much.